Yes, but Riot Games don't want to make that trade, Achilles. They do not want the All-Korean semifinals.
At that point, you're getting close to quarterfinals as well.
But we get to cast this tournament, so
Yeah.
whatever you can say about international events, which are awesome in their own right, we get to see them all playing. The Gauntlet is just going to be madness. Because if you think about the Gauntlet last
It's
year...
all for us. And our mystery caster.
Why are you doing the Skrilla hands? Skrilla's actually relevant for us. But the reason why I'm talking about the Gauntlet, think about the Gauntlet last year. Especially before Samsung got good, it was like, well, if Freaka made it each time, they're not going to make it past 5th. Samsung kind of a thought after there. This nonplussed Bang, who now realizes he's on camera.
He's just staring
We're
into
just checking
the
out his mustache.
He's like, why is everyone laughing?
If he was really on board, he'd be like playing with the mustache. He's not doing that.
Yeah, just scratching his chin.
Doesn't want to draw attention to the mustache. He had an interview about the mustache, said, I'm going to stick with it. The interviewer talked about, okay, but like a lot of your fans are saying you should shave it off. And he's like, well, look, respectfully, it's my decision. So that's fair enough, but...
Some of those fans are going to pin him down at the next fan meeting and pull out a razor and just start shaving his face.
That'd be like the most violent acting career in a while.
That would be. Wolf,
it's Wolf.
See, Wolf knows when he's on camera.
Where's the Wolf hands, though?
He's well aware. Yeah, I need to see those claws.
Where are they? See, he's much more... This guy is mugging for the camera now. Who's going to look away first, the camera or Wolf?
That's slow.
Yeah! That's not actually him.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That'd be an impressive bend of his arm if that...
This is definitely a game of chicken. Who will look away first? It's not going to be Wolf.
Oh, no, he is going to stare
Wolf
down
is
this
just
camera.
going for the most manly stare. Bang is like, what's going on here now?
He's still lost. He just doesn't know what's happening.
Who's going to look away? Oh, this is like
Please don't cut away.
No, who is going to lose this game of chicken? It is not Wolf.
I need this entire...
Oh.
No, Wolf, you fool!
Good job, OGN. You win again.
Oh, man, OGN always comes out on top. Oh.
MVP Marin, well, so good so far.
Yeah, he's working his way towards maybe a double MVP. Could see that come out.
Man, a double MVP against SKT would be just the most narrative.
Yeah.
I think if they win, just give him the MVP. Don't even bother polling us for votes. Just in case you guys didn't know, in the Seoul East Stadium on the OGN side of things, they do ask global casters for votes on who we would like to be MVP. I believe it's all the casters and then some writers and other staff in the back. That's how the votes are tabulated. They don't always listen to us.
No, they don't. On occasion, but
How can the mouse issue still be persistent?
I don't know.
Is it possible that there's only one backup and the backup's not working and he has a mouse that no one else uses?
If I had to assume anything from here, it's maybe the firmware on the mouse is broken.
They just like,
They need
they're
to
like, well, we've
reinstall
got
it? I
this
don't know.
trackball that
Oh,
Kerp left here.
Rooney
We
looks
could use that.
mad.
A lot to be happy about. In fact, this Gragas is not working out. Can we remake? I'll take anything else.
Are we flashing back to 2015 Worlds? Is not looking very satisfied at the moment, but still lots of fans out in the audience showing their support for SKT despite the Game 1 loss.
And all I'll say about this game is, you know, you asked the question a week ago or so. Is it better that both teams come in undefeated for the Telecom War? And I said no. Can you agree now that Afrika beating both teams make this league even better? Because now it's like, whenever Afrika take the Rift, will they beat Kongdon Monster? Maybe. Will they beat SKT? Maybe.
I can definitely side with you on that one. This scenario is quite possibly the best scenario. I want to see Faker with a mustache. I don't even know what that would look like.
I'm sure it's been photoshopped many times.
Well, there's like a video he did I think for Riot on the front page, or for somebody, maybe Neighbor, on the front page of the Korean client, where they have a drawn-on bearded mustache.
Did you see the Deft story where they had Deft with a really large head and he contacted Riot and said, please make my head smaller? So they made his body huge. Riot Korea trolls, man.
Absolutely wonderful. So many Pokemon today and recently.
Pokemon Go Fever.
Ooh, that's a good drawing.
Damn, Faker is pissed.
He is anime as hell.
He is so mad. That's how that's actually what we missed, the reaction shot after game 1. That was during the break, guys. You missed it, sorry. But Faker was really angry.
See Peanut testing out the microphone.
No, the mouse.
The mouse, sorry. I'm staring at his microphone.
What did Kuro have for breakfast today? That's what I need to know.
I don't
Kuro
know.
just suddenly was like, I'm new improved Kuro 2.0 over here.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering if the
Do you
coach
think he's
for-
ever, like, done the special delivery into aggressive Valkyrie in his whole career? Somehow I don't think so.
I can't really think of a time that he had, but looks like we might have gotten that pesky mouse issue taken care of. Just, I feel like maybe the coach for Afrika pulled a Space Jam on him and they gave him like this mystery liquid. It's Mike's secret stuff, and he drinks it. He says it's going to make you stronger.
You mentioned Afrika. The other fun thing is they don't even have the same coach there. He went over to the Rocks Tigers, so everything changes for Afrika. Still beat SKT. It's in their contracts somehow.
I mean,
Contracts.
we're still trying to nail down why Jin Air plays such long games.
Coach stayed the same. That's the one that makes sense. This
Something
one makes
mystical
less sense.
then about Afrika. It's the power of the name. SKT fears it.
It's also, amusingly, two streaming platforms, I guess, in some ways, given that SKT have just jumped onto Twitch. Afrika is the main Korean competition to Twitch TV.
Very
You may
good.
not know, but this year, previously the Nice Game TV Challenger League is now on Afrika TV. So they do shoulder quite a lot of the Korean broadcasts, but again, on the Challenger side of things.
Yeah, so if you want to see CJ Entis play, you can always check out those streams.
There's some Go Ball. There's an English cast of it as well, so they're trying to make it more and more palatable.
He's coming around in bottom lane. He needs to come in, but Kramer's got plenty of wave clear at the moment, so should be all right. He got spotted out by that ward, so they know that he's roaming down the river.
I mean, if Sivir gets through this matchup, which we're now seeing twice, Sivir in the late game is still a massive team fight force and can buff up champions like Maokai and the other meta picks, so interesting to see if other ADs pick up this Sivir. Certainly was a popular pick a couple of years ago. I mean, they are losing turret damage, so they are still getting punished in some ways. It's just not as bad as you'd expect a Sivir lane to be in 2017. As I started that sentence, I didn't think it would be as memey as it sounded at the end. And yes, memey is now the adjective form.
Wonderful. Put it in the dictionary. They want to keep pressuring out on that turret. It's been giving Bang a pretty decent CS lead. Faker goes in.
Actually gets the
lands
Petrifying
Gaze. Yeah, Faker not able to juke this out. There's on the realm board, but it doesn't matter. Marin arrives. And Faker will go down. Kuro coming up with a killing blow. Now Spirit in mid. They're going to try to shove in, get some good damage onto this turret. It's already down to half HP. Could just be first brick coming through.
Marin doesn't do anything in half match. Instant flash, exactly what he needed to. Got the kill onto Faker. They will take first brick, and of all the first brick, this is the most prized one. Taking out the outer mid lane turret. Suddenly Rise is going to have to be more accountable. Minions will push on to his inner turret. How do they do it, Afrika? I still don't know.
Neither do I. Peanut.
Helpful that Huni has a performance like this, though. It's been a poor one for him.
This time he rides the blast cone when he wants to. It's going to be Peanut wrapping around. Right now, recall did come through from Tucson and Kramer, so this should be the turret going down in bottom. Trade some gold back into SKT's favor, but Afrika still maintain a very slight lead.
As Rise reaches his apex of power, that's exactly the same point, basically, when Gragas starts to fade. So the fact that Gragas is so far behind kind of means he's going to be little more than an aura and ult bot this game. Probably will never be relevant. Whereas Maokai, very, very simply, will be the teamfight tank of all. Sivir has more options in the late game than Varus. Sure, there are playstyles that Varus does better, sieging in particular, but the team fighting phase will be really good for Afrika Freak. So the fact that they're ahead early, or even, I guess it's better to say, with the gold so even, does really serve to put them in a spot where things are even late game as well. They're in a very realistic shot of winning team fights, Killia.
Yep. And now Mountain Drake going over to them. They know that SKT can see this from the Scuttle Crab. They just don't care. Go ahead. Take that one away. Faker going to be stealing a red buff. Actually, okay.
I guess he saw Maokai, maybe he saw Maokai leave lane.
Perhaps thought he was going to get collapsed on.
Certainly the chance. He only had exclusive vision of one brush and no other information.
Just playing it safe. Still has a control ward down. It looks like actually Peanut.
Yep.
That will be taking this one away. So
We'll still get the same counter jungling, but safety first, which given how the game's going, is probably the right call.
Definitely something that SKT needs to practice at the moment.
Frozen Heart Rush is interesting for Mar. It means he has no health, so he's still able to be dived.
Realm Warp coming in. Huni considerably tankier than last time. Twisted advance from Martin trying to get himself back underneath the turret, but looks like he's just going to crumble under the pressure that SKT is laying down. A kill. Pick up
In
from
bot
Faker.
lane.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Yakoro coming in. Exhaust comes down onto the Cassiopeia, but it does not matter. Spirit comes up with the kill with the collateral damage.
No first pick, remember, for SKT, even though they have the inside track to ending this laning phase in top, ending lane phase in bottom. Given how it was going for Afreeca, it's probably a bigger prize as well. So trade of kills, trade of turrets. I don't think Huni's going to really do anything realistic to the inner turret. No Iceborne Gauntlet hijinks with this Gragas yet. But fairly even. Afreeca get perhaps a more important turret, given that they now have mid and bot lane down, and suddenly Drake becomes very hard for SKT to defend.
Exactly, and there's going to be a second Mount Drake coming up. And Afreeca can net that. Quite good for them. He's working his way down towards mid. The explosive cast not available, so can't really go for a big play onto Kuro underneath the turret. Take away those Raptors and likely go back to base.
Cassio knows summoners, so getting a kill onto the support was at the pretty steep cost for Kuro. Marin caught again.
Oh, yep. Getting found here. Faker coming around the sidelines, has that Root Prison to offer up, and Marin still very tanky. Bullet time comes through. The bullet connects. He goes back with the twisted advance in onto Peanut. Heals
Not
up with the
dead.
Sap Magic Pass, and then he's going to be able to walk out of there. Flash not available. Flash not needed.
Oh boy.
Realm Warp coming in. Faker comes in by himself. with a
massive petrifying gaze!
Beautiful from Kuro. Perfectly timed. Comes up with the kill. Spirit walking away with the killing blow, and Faker biting off way more than he could chew.
Really slim timing window, exactly timed the Realm Warp. Good stuff from Kuro once again. Has been the biggest surprise for us this series. How far on form he's been. Some surprising underperformances from the likes of Peanut and Huni, sure. But Kuro, the level of performance against Faker that he has very rarely been able to emulate. Now Huni.
Oh, meanwhile back at mid. Huni, this time he's got the explosive
I'm sorry,
cast.
Kuro, I said too much.
Yeah, we'll have to see the setup on this one. Kuro sticking around way too long. It's taken out. No summoner spells to save his life.
And Huni, flash, and ulted, so.
Had to invest a lot. Let's see if we get a replay of that one. For now, SKT moving over to take out this Rift Herald.
These two
Peanut.
are going to take a long, long time to do this.
Yeah. Peanut gets a little bit of healing in. Should be okay.
He smites early for the extra stay.
Yeah. And there we go. Pick up the buff.
Well,
Okay.
nothing to be done there.
Yeah, that's about all she wrote. So giving a nice kill over to Bang puts him on the board outside of the assist that he was able to get.
And Huni finishes his first item. His Spirit Visage, very, very delayed after his poor start.
Yeah, now I'm going to be looking for that Sunfire Cape to see the Cloth Armor come in.
Was worth noting that, just like we said that Kuro invested a lot to get the kill onto Misfortune and the turret bot, it was all that invested from Huni just to get a kill. They weren't able to take the mid turret.
Wolf getting zoned out of the river. Freaka will get rid of that control ward.
Just take a turret.
And yeah, looks like they will be able to knock him down. Mooney comes forward, doesn't have enough to clear. Now the tether coming down. Be careful, pops Tucson back in. Wolf arriving. Not able to get on top of him. They'll force the flash away from the Karma in the end.
Remember that the nerf onto the Gragas barrel stuck, so there is that fixed travel time, so you cannot go for the old ult plays that you used to be able to, the body slam flash into ult. So that's why Sivir can really wait.
Bit of a misfire there from Kuro, who's otherwise been pretty on point.
Just to finish that mechanic. Sivir can wait with the spell shield much more reliably than she could before. She kind of had to spell shield 2 spells at once that you couldn't really be done in previous times, but now you can just wait for the animation and use it. Surprising to see Marin go for this rush on the Frozen Heart. Sure, attack speed is relevant for Rengar and Varus, but not a massive stat. The armor does a lot of value against this team. Only started building health now. Just a Spectre's Cow. Thinking about jumping onto
There
Peanut.
we go. All right, spots it.
Control ward will be cleared by Spirit as well. Same build, so even though it's not Katarina, it's really liking Steric's Gauge as the first big rush from the jungle.
a lot of burst there from the Rise.
4-0, also worth noting from Spirit, who quietly is having quite the series.
That he is.
I was excited about the Graves, but I'm really impressed with how powerful it's been this series, and last series as well. Worth noting that Kondu Monster played that very well.
And maybe Spirit's trying to pick up an MVP of his own.
Uh-oh.
Peanut, oh
Uh-oh.
god. Oh, spots them. And Petrifying Gaze not going to connect yet again. See, second too late there. Good check by Peanut, although a bit inadvertent as he threw down the sweeper.
There should be an unanswered Drake. Remember, they have the setup for this. Score's going to take a lot of damage. Flashes as well. But Afreeca have mid and bot lane turret. They should not be losing Drakes, so...
They have really nothing that they can push in for to try to answer with either. So this is going to be a Drake going over to SKT. Good pressure built up by Wolf throwing out that, as well as the thrill of the hunt by Peanut to really start zoning them back. Not having the Petrifying Gaze as well, something that they don't really want to pick a fight without.
Well, that was just a poor setup for Afreeca. Like I said, when you take mid and bot lane turrets, you should really always have the inside track for Drakes.
Oh dear.
And specifically having two Mountain Drakes, you remember, in game one was allowed them to rush the first Baron.
What is wrong with your mouse, Peanut?
This is a question that needs to be substantiated now that it's the third pause for this.
Yep.
We'll be running out of hardware if neither of these mice are appropriate.
You can have mine from my laptop.
I'm gonna guess he might have a unique mouse, because otherwise he could just, if everyone's using a Death Adder, for example, they could just grab one from one of the other players.
Yeah. See if we get confirmation as to whether or not this is another mouse issue, or if we bounce back into the realm of audio problems.
He's had this many mouse issues since EDG at World.
Things have stabilized a bit for SKT, especially off the back end of that Mountain Drake.
But no more than stabilized. This is not a 5 to 10,000 gold lead at 15, 16 minutes like has been the story with SKT. They are, in fact, behind in gold. 600, so very much line ball between the two. And I spoke about power spikes. Spirit Visage Gragas. The base values are starting to fall off. We are getting to 25, 30-minute phase soon. He will only really be an ult bot. Sure, he'll be annoying and tanky and do a bit of disruption, but no more than that. He is no Maokai. They need something big out of Rengar, which they weren't able to find in game one. Is just going to go for Guardian Angel next, so just looking for CC as well.
We've upgraded.
To a PC issue. That's not good.
Yeah, they did DC Peanut from the server.
We have seen OGN swap out PCs in about 7 or 8 minutes, so...
Yeah, very well. Could be the solution here as we try to get all of this resolved.
Might have to be a more extended pause, unfortunately, so... I think it's ready for some talking, Ilios.
It does seem that way.
We're going to have to talk, but not about this particular game. Maybe for a couple more seconds. Again, the Gragas is the big question mark to me, because he will be a barrel and some slows and nothing else very soon.
Yeah.
And didn't get much done in the early game. Rise scales very well, Varus as well, but does feel like Afreeca have the answers in the team fights. But they made so many correct decisions in the first game. The big question to me is, can they keep up that level of performance? Emphatically, when we're talking about series or multiple series, the answer is no. But it seems like when all these superstars wake up on the right side of the bed, you get games like game one.
It's just a little bit too inconsistent for them to be at the top of the charts at the moment, but I mean, they're just putting on one hell of a show. This is really something else. I mean, SKT, they've been playing the bottom of the barrel teams at the moment. They haven't really had that high-level opposition yet. But the manner in which they were beating those teams seemed like they were on this upper echelon. But Afreeca Freaks, they are just playing out of their minds so far.
For 4 series in a row, SKT was legitimately playing a different video game than their opponents. It felt like they were playing League of Legends and the rest of them were playing Pokemon Go, I guess. About the only applicable thing. They were just so far ahead, and of course that makes you think, okay, it's SKT, this all Golden's wins. They're just going to run away with the season. But now we're seeing a real data point. Afreeca are a team. Afreeca, Longzhu, Samsung, KT. Those are the teams where you're like, what does SKT look against them? And so far, pretty big missteps in this series.
Yeah, definitely has been. I mean, getting that first blood on the Huni, not a great way to start things off for a player that's
We only just caught it.
Been known to tilt in the past. So we'll see how much work does Coma put in. We know that he's got him on tanks. Has he calmed down the attitude?
And that's an interesting thing to bring up. The T word is always a risky one to throw out, but you think back to the Smeb versus Huni matchup, and it seemed like that happened back at Worlds. In 2015, that was a long time ago. He's done a lot of growing up. It's an interesting question to gauge because you wouldn't really know. From all the word preseason was that they were dominating scrims. All the games they played so far dominated. Huni's dominated himself. Do SKT really know what Huni looks like when they're not ahead? They just haven't had that problem recently.
Yeah, good point. Haven't really seen it. But rough times for SKT.